Dear students, now we are going to see about the tractor testing procedures in detail. Last session we have done or we have seen what are the type of testing, what is the importance of testing, why we go for testing, etc. So coming to the tractor testing and its procedures. So tractor testing is mainly aimed for make the users available to the data about the power requirement and output of the tractor and performance of the tractor and idea about the usual accessories about the tractor. Then the procedure of tractor testing includes like sampling, checking the specifications, development of test facilities and instrumentation, conduct of actual test, analysis of the data, presentation of data and report writing, product certification marks schemes. First in sampling. Sampling is nothing but for firstly we need a sample for conducting the test, right? So a manufacturer who is wanted to his machine or its model to be tested will give a official submission to the government so that he want his machine to tested and a test report is required and he want a test certificate. So like that he will give a submission and based on the official procedures a test sample collection team officially will go to the production unit and they will select randomly from the production unit from a lot of sample, one sample he will select. So it is not like that whatever sample is given by the manufacturer we are testing, we will go to the site and we will select randomly one among a large number of production units. We will select one product and then we are selecting that one for the testing. So after the sampling, first we will go for the running in and preliminary adjustment. So running in and preliminary adjustments means after we selected one product, we want to ensure both the authority and also the manufacturer need to ensure that that selected one is working properly in the initial stages itself, and that product is needed to be prepared for the testing for the certificate scheme. So that tractor should be operated by the manufacturer before the test that he want to prove to us, to the authorities, that it is working properly. And in the test report the authority should be clearly mentioned where the running in is conducted, at what time, and how many duration the process is conducted. And in running in process the manufacturer can adjust the governor, ignition and injection so that it may work better than it is current now. And now next is ballasted tractors. We the most of the manufacturers will provide some ballasting unit along with the tractor, so that is commercially available and of a commercial standard, so that can be approved and he can also give that one also along with the testing sample. So that is a ballasted tractor. Next is the checking for the specifications. Generally the test code the manufacturer will also give a specification. So with some tolerance limit he will give the specification, like for example, if length of the tractor is 2 meter, it may vary plus or minus 2 centimeter. So 1.8 may be there and 2.2 may be there. So some happens during the manufacture. So there are always a tolerance limit which is provided by the manufacturer also. So the authority wants to first check the specification is right, whether the length is within the tolerance limit and if it is mentioned correctly as per the specification chart, width, height, etc. Lot of things we will check as per the specification chart, and if anyone is not meeting the standard or as per the specification, we will clearly mention that in the testing report. And if that is meeting the standard or specification is pakka, then also that will mention in the testing report. Then we will go for the facilities and instrumentations. So almost the tractor testing agencies is completely doing that one, so they don't need to go for much arrangement of facilities which is already available there. Then we will ready all the instruments which is ready for the testing of the tractor. Then we will go for the actual test, field test, laboratory test, etc. We will go for the actual test. After the test we will analyze the data and then we will get into a conclusion, and based on that data we will write the test report, and after the test report, based on that test report, we will provide the certificate for the manufacturer under the scheme, which he like BIS scheme mostly. So that is the tractor test. Then tractor can be tested in essential tests are there, optional tests are there. Optional tests are the tests which is recommended by the manufacturer. You have to perform additional this test also. He may recommend sometimes he may not. So based on that, or if any doubts is there in the authority, they can also check. So essential test is a compulsory test that should be conducted. Whether manufacturers tell or suggested or not, that should be compulsory performed. So that tests include the test of main power takeoff, that is PTO, engine, belt or pulley or shaft test, drawbar test, center of gravity, visibility for the driver's seat, turning space, turning circle, hydraulic power lift, brake test, air cleaner oil pullover test. So these are the compulsory tests that should be conducted. We can see one by one. So first one is a test for main PTO. So main PTOs in most of the tractor engine is PTO is directly connected to the engine, and in that cases we will go for only the engine test. We will not go for PTO because the engine PTO is taking power from the engine. And if in not that case, if the engine and PTO is separate, then we will go for engine test separately and PTO test separately. So both are almost same procedures we are following for engine and PTO. First one is we will test at maximum power. We will test the system at maximum power. For that, first the engine or the PTO is coupled to a dynamometer, and then we will start the engine. For almost 15 minutes, it will for warming up. After warming up, the engine will run at maximum power for almost 2 hours. And in that 2 hours, we will note several readings like power, torque, speed, load, fuel consumption, temperature, pressure, etc. We will note. And all the readings is taking mostly in equal interval of time. We will make all these readings at equal interval of time, and mostly the engine is running in maximum power. Okay. So the maximum power is the average of the all 6 readings which is taken in the 2 interval of 2 hours of time. In 2 hours of times, mostly we used to take 6 readings of equal interval. In that, the average of all the 6 readings will give the maximum power value, and that power variation exceeds 2% from the average value. Then the test is repeated. And again, if the test is repeated also, then the value is again varying 2% plus or minus 2% from the average value. Then the system, that either the PTO or engine has failed in that test, and the entire system has failed, then there is no need for go for any further test. So we can send that back to the manufacturer. And if it is not in the, or it should be clearly mentioned in the test report. And if it is not or within this 2% limit, then the test is passed. We don't want to repeat the test, it is passed, and that should also be mentioned in the test report. Next is the testing the machine at varying speed at full load condition. So that full load condition, and we are varying the speed. In that also, at that time also, we want to measure the torque, power, speed, and fuel consumption. Next is engine test at or PTO test at varying load. Varying load means we are varying the load. To first we will run the engine at no load condition. Then we will run the engine at 1/3 of the load. Then we will go for the half load condition. Then we will go for the 3/4 load condition, and we will run the engine at full load condition. And also we will run the engine at a load corresponding to 85% of the torque. So there will be a torque value. Then at 85% of the torque, what will be the load value? And we will run the test at that load condition also. In that case, we also measure the load, speed, power, torque, fuel consumption. So that later we will plot graphs with all these values, and then that also should be there in the test report. Then belt or pulley shaft test. So in nowadays most of the tractors are not equipped with the belt or pulley shaft, but some of the tractors may there. So first that one also, that tractor pulley, that also coupled to the dynamometer with the help of a belt, and we will measure the belt slip, and that should not exceed 2%. If it is exceeding 2%, we should repeat the test, and again in the repetition also it may fail, means the test is failed. In that case also we will measure the hourly fuel consumption, specific fuel consumption, engine power, and corresponding to the engine speed. Next is engine test. So engine test is similar to the tractor PTO test. Either one is performed usually. If it is PTO and engine is independently operating, then PTO test and engine should be done. And engine, if the PTO is taking power from the engine, it should not be tested separately. Only engine test is sufficient. Next is drawbar test. Drawbar test means how much the tractor can pull, how much load it can be pull, or pulling load. So for that we are connecting a load cart to the rear side of the tractor, that is between the 3-point linkage and the loading cart. So loading car or loading car is a device which is used to vary the load to be given to the drawbar. Okay, not 3-point linkage, drawbar. So we will give different load with the help of a loading cart to the drawbar, and based on that values we will have some screens, and we will have some pressure gauges, temperature gauges, all those things which is available within the loading car itself, so that we will note the drawbar pull, amount of wheel slip, fuel consumption, and time for the testing. Next is position of the center of gravity, which can be determined laboratory, as that we studied in our theory classes. And the things that you have to kept in mind for go for the center of gravity is that the fuel tank should be completely filled, and the lubricating oil in the engine as well as the gearbox should be filled up to the desired mark. And instead of the driver, we can place a weight of 75 kg in the driver's seat to replace the driver. So thereby we can calculate the position of center of gravity in x direction and y direction. Then visibility from the driver's seat. This is done to whether sufficient visibility is there since it is operating in the field or not. If it is not, then that should also be clearly mentioned in test report. Then turning space. This is actually how much space is required to turn the tractor in completely. So in this, what we are measuring is that the diameter of the smallest circle described by the outermost point of a tractor when it is turned completely, and the speed is not exceeding 2 km per hour is called a turning space, and it can be done with the turning the tractor to the left side and turning the tractor to the right side, and with and without steering brakes. That can also be done. Next is turning circle. Turning circle is the circle, the diameter of the circle described when the tractor is taking the smallest turning, when the diameter of the circle described by the center part of the drive wheel, rear wheel. In case of our tractor is mostly two-wheel drive tractor. So two-wheel drive tractor driven wheel is usually rear wheel. Rear wheel in the center make in a circle in the diameter. Diameter of the circle described by the median plane of the outermost steered wheel. Outermost steered means outermost rear wheel moving at a speed is not exceeding 2 km per hour, and desirable to move the tractor slowly with the steering wheels in full lock condition. Next is hydraulic power lift, whether we want to ensure that the hydraulic system is properly working. First, we will check the specification of the hydraulic oil given by the manufacturer and which is already there in the hydraulic. And if it's not matching, that also mentioned in the report. And if it's matching, also it should be mentioned in the report. Then, first we will run the engine in a condition like governor lever, control lever is in fully open condition. Then hydraulic power lift and hydraulic pump is tested whether they are working properly as per as the requirements. Then next is a brake test. Brake test is done both in cold condition and in hot condition. Hot conditions means if it is working in a temperature above 80 degrees Celsius, and if it is working in a temperature below 80 degrees Celsius, it's considered as cold. So for this brake test, first we will prepare a special track on which the tires is having maximum grip, and then we will select the speed. Usually we will run the machine for the tractor for 24 km per hour for brake test. But if the tractor is not able to run in a 24 km per hour, whatever is the maximum speed in that is available in that particular tractor, we will select that one, whichever is the lower value. And if some tractor can run in more than 24 km per hour, then we will select not that higher value, lower value. So 25 km per hour, or whichever is the lower value, minimum speed. And this test should be done both in ballast condition and also in unballast condition. Next is air cleaner oil pullover test. In air cleaner oil pullover test, first we want to take the tractor to a level ground, like resting ground. Then air cleaner should be cleaned and filled with normal cleaning oil. Then engine should be started and should be operated for almost 15 minutes at full governor speed and with the continuous acceleration and deceleration. Then we may notice or may not notice some oil may spill over from the air cleaner. And if there is oil is not spill over, means we can weigh the weight of the oil in the air cleaner before and after the test, and we can note the weight difference, that is the amount of oil spilled over. And if there is no spillover, then we can test test can be repeated by placing the tractor in a tilted position to 15 degree either side, to front side and back side, to test one 15 degree to the front and 15 degree to the back, and also 30 degree tilt to the forward and reverse side to the direction of travel, and can be repeated, and can also run the tractor for 15 minutes at full governor speed, and can be checked whether any oil spillover is there. Next is noise measurement. Noise is measured when with a sound level meter, and that is also done to determine that is the noise of the tractor is within the recommendable data. That recommended data is there in we studied in our ergonomics part. And so there are other tests that's already we covered in the first test. These are the testing agencies and BIS test, then field test, Howley's test. So then power tiller test. Power tiller also we will conduct this same test, like engine test, specification, rotary shaft performance, drawbar test, park, etc. All those things can be done for the power tiller also. So this is about the testing of the tractor, and hope there is no doubt. Any doubt you can contact me.